All right, guys. Well, welcome to the webinar this evening. We are officially recording. We appreciate the sacrifice that everyone's made to jump on this phone call with us. Thank you for participating in the shout-outs. It's always a pleasure to see where people are calling or dialing in from. For those of you who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting personally, my name is Shane Greer, and I'm the General Manager of North America for Synergy Worldwide. And I say that with a lot of pride right now in 2017 because we're about to take this nation by storm. We have never been more posed and prepared to do great things in North America than in 2017. We have the full backing of the giant Nature Sunshine to grow this market this year, and we hope that you'll join us on the journey and be a huge part of that. Obviously, you have some interest in this because you're joining us on the webinar this evening, and we have a monumental announcement for you this evening. So you're going to want to make sure, if you have not already, send that last second text or email, or go ahead and put your phone on hold and call some of your friends and family, anyone that can benefit from having a healthier life, and make sure they jump on this webinar this evening. We want to make sure that this message goes as far and as fast as possible. We're going to go rather quickly tonight because we have a lot of information to go through, but we're glad that you were able to join us. What I'd like to do first is turn the time over to a good friend of mine, someone I've known for over a decade, a very talented person. He's our Managing Director of Marketing here at Synergy Worldwide, and he's going to kick off the webinar for us tonight. So Aaron McCain. Aaron, can you hear me, and are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you, Shane. Can you hear me?
I read you loud and clear, buddy. We're going to kick it over to Aaron.
All right, thanks, Shane. Well, first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great opportunity for me to be able to join you here on this webinar for some exciting information. And what Shane said is something that's not only going to revolutionize what I feel, not only here in North America, but really globally for Synergy Worldwide and within the network marketing industry as a whole, and also just from a nutritional supplement standpoint. I think we have some fantastic news and training and information for you. And so with that, I just want to make sure technically, Shane, do I have control of the slides right now?
I believe so, Aaron. Go ahead and try to advance, and if not, let me know.
Okay. I don't think I do.
Let me see. 1 second, guys. We're going to give see if we can give Aaron some control here. One last chance, and if not, I'll go ahead and click for him.
Yeah, I'm fine doing that, Shane. If you want, I can definitely say advance after I'm done with each slide.
You should have it now. Go ahead and give it a try.
Shane, if you want to just go ahead and advance it, then I'm good.
All right, we're going to get started. I'll go on mute. I'll let Aaron crush it. Thanks, guys.
Let's see, Shane, I'm not seeing it advance. Oh, there we go. Okay, so first and foremost, as we talk about what is coming to North America, I want to give you a little bit of an insight, and I know for some of you who are on this call, this might be information that you may have heard already. It's information that we've given in various markets throughout the world, and in fact we've actually highlighted this information here in North America as well previously. But I want to do just a brief recap to make sure that if we do have new guests on this call or on this webinar who are coming for the very first time to hear about this information, that we're all on the same page. And so first and foremost, us as a company, when we talk Synergy Worldwide, it's important that we understand who are we? Who are we as a company, and what is this new direction that we're heading in? First, our message is pretty simple. Our message is elite health. And this isn't just what we feel is a marketing spin or a nice fluffy message. It's something that is scientifically based, and it's backed by innovative proprietary programs that holistically improve your total health, and they elevate your performance and unlock your true potential. And so Now that is one of the definitions of elite health, and as we, let me advance this. Shane, it's not advancing. Okay, so as we get into talking more specifically about elite health, if we talk about it in layman terms, for you and I to understand, what does this message of elite health really mean? Outside of the scientifically based formulas and this delivering formulations that can elevate your health, well, what does it do in the long term from an inspirational standpoint? And so elite health in and of itself is, as you can see on the screen, is the pinnacle of wellness where age does not dictate ability. And so if, depending on your age of where you're at currently in your life, I know for me, I'm in my mid-30s, and sometimes I tell you, I can remember back in the day in high school when I used to play basketball and my knees worked properly, my joints worked properly, I didn't ache and pain as I ran down the court. And there's a certain part of me now when I go and play ball and do things that I used to be able to do that with that pain I kind of hesitate, and I think, what's it going to be like when I hit my 40s or my 50s or my 60s? And so for you, ladies and gentlemen, who are on this webinar, thinking about where you currently are in your life, what do you think about the next decade? What do you think? What comes to mind when you reach that next birthday? And that's what we're trying to do is help it and eliminate the factor of age. That age isn't necessarily a factor that's going to inhibit your ability to go and do more and see more. And so scientifically, if we were to have Dr. Tripp at some point, which I'm sure he will, whether it's a webinar or in person, when he speaks to elite health, he uses a terminology that we'll kind of touch on briefly tonight, that is optimal metabolic function. And so in and of itself, in a very simple way of putting it, that means that it's a state in which all of your body systems, so your cardiovascular system, your immune system, your nervous system, your skeletal system, that they're all performing efficiently. And by so doing, this gives you the energy to see more, do more, be more, regardless of where you're at in your life. And so at Synergy World Live, we want to make sure that you live without limitation, and that Elite Health, our Elite Health platform, will be able to help you get there. Next slide. And so when we talk about this program of Elite Health, it's important to understand that this is more than just a product program. It's not just products. This is a complete lifestyle transformation. Elite Health is way more than just a supplement regimen. It consists of, yes, a high protein, high phytonutrient, and low carbohydrate nutrition plan combined with transformative supplements that we have formulated in conjunction with Dr. Tripp in the Hughes Center for Research and Innovation, and in addition, a recommendation for light exercise to be combined within this overall program. Next slide. And so when we talk about Elite Health, we may say this sounds fine and dandy, and maybe it only applies for, does it only apply for a certain category of people or a certain age demographic? And the answer to that is no. Elite Health is for every single person out there. When you look at health, every one of us that is on this webinar, we're all on a different part of this continuum of health. You can have an individual that has very poor health, someone that might be in the middle, or someone that has superior optimal health, like high functional athletes, for example. However, regardless of where you fall on this spectrum, when we talk about metabolic function or elite health, the state in which all of our systems are operating as they should, there are very, very, very few people who have optimal metabolic function. And I'd like to explain why, give you a little bit of background, next slide, as to why each of us suffer from metabolic dysfunction. And so the problem that is occurring in this day and age, regardless of where you live in the world, this is occurring in every country throughout the world. So what is the problem? Why don't we have elite health? Number one, first and foremost, let's take a look at our diet. And this diet is becoming widespread in every country everywhere. The amount of sugars, the amount of simple carbohydrates that are infused into our diet because of convenience, also because of our taste factors, as we're getting more and more accustomed to having sugar within our diet. Our diets are actually causing a severe impact on this thing that we'll be talking about here momentarily on what is called the microbiome. In addition, the lifestyle that we lead, and whether it be because of how busy we are, because of our work schedules, oftentimes we find ourselves for the majority of the day, and myself included, that we sit at, whether it be at a desk or an office, and the majority of our day is spent sitting. If you were to reflect on today, and I would invite you to do that right now, reflect on today and think about, so far, the two things that we've talked about. Think about your diet. What are you putting into your mouth? And then secondly, think about how many hours of the day today did you sit? And I would venture to say that many of us have probably sat for the majority of the day, and many of us have had something perhaps unhealthy throughout this day. In addition, the environment in which we live. We cannot get away from this environment. We are where we are. The pollution that goes into the environment also has a negative impact on this thing that's called the microbiome. Next slide. And so the result of this is a toxic environment within this place that's called the microbiome. And so this toxic environment, because it's in primarily within what we term as the gut, this toxic environment, it leaches into the rest of the system. If you think about what your digestive system is responsible for, of absorbing all the nutrients and then letting those get out to all the different cells and distributed through the blood, and getting to the different systems of the human body. This metabolic dysfunction is as a result of this toxic environment, which is caused by those three main factors: the diet, the lifestyle, and the environment. Next slide, Shane. And so the solution that we have devised and that we have created focuses on improving this core metabolic function through what is known and what is called as the microbiome. And so I'd like to go into a little bit of detail and explain what the microbiome is. First and foremost, we need to understand that as we have the microbiome that each of us own within our human organism, when it's balanced and properly fed, then that is really the key to unlock what we have termed elite health. Now, the microbiome is a very complex network of bacteria, of fungi, microflora, and it resides in us, and it also resides on us. And because of this delicate network of bacteria, the balance or the healthy balance of this bacteria is what can either work for us or it can work against us. Next slide. So as we look at a little bit, I'm not going to go too much into detail about the science of the microbiome, but I would invite you guys, after this webinar, over the course of the next 24 hours, I would invite you to go and Google it. Google microbiome and microbiome studies. The information that is coming, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the very verge, the very tipping point of these studies that are coming out that relate the microbiome to really what, as Dr. Tripp says, core metabolic function. That they are, it is responsible for essentially everything that functions within the human body. So the microbiome, when we talk about these different cells, the bacteria and fungi and microflora, it accounts for over 90% of the human body. And so an interesting fact is that you and I and everyone that's on this webinar, we are only 10% human. Isn't that an interesting fact? That there are essentially 100 trillion cells that comprise the human body, and about 90 trillion of those cells is what makes up the microbiome. And so for far too long, both in and outside of this industry, when we look at nutritional supplementation, when we look at diets and the different diet fads that are out there, they've all been good. They've all been trying to work towards a common goal of achieving health and elevating health. But without addressing health at its core, which is the microbiome, without addressing the 90%, how can we expect to elevate health if we're only addressing the 10%? For far too long, we have been addressing the 10% human DNA without addressing the 90% microbiome DNA. And so the right balance, if we can identify how we can alter that balance, for those of us, for the majority of the human population that has an imbalance of healthy to unhealthy microbiome bacteria, if we can maintain a healthy balance, that is critical to our health. And again, as I said before, I would encourage each of you to go and look in the news and look and see what's out there currently being studied and researched. In fact, here in our own backyard at the University of Utah that's up in Salt Lake City, they have dedicated millions of dollars to the investigation and the research of the microbiome. And together, with all the different scientific communities that are out there, along with Dr. Tripp and the Hughes Center for Research and Innovation, the studies and the trials that are being done, it's really fascinating data and information. And so as we get into the term that's there's a term that Dr. Tripp uses that's cardiometabolic function. And cardiometabolic function is kind of a mouthful, but it's important that we understand that cardiometabolic function is essentially not only the different components of the systems of the body working at their optimal level, but it also relates directly to the cardiovascular system as a whole. And so now let's look at this little course, the pathway through which this happens. So as you look at the toxins, remember how we talked about the toxins of the diet and lifestyle and environment. So these toxins that come within our human body, they travel from your gut to all the different various parts of the body. Now when this happens on a cellular level, inflammation occurs. When inflammation occurs, there's what's called metabolic dysfunction, meaning that these different systems of the body begin to not function as they should. When that happens, it directly causes a reaction of insulin resistance. Now you and I, everyone on this webinar understands that insulin is important for maintaining healthy blood sugars. And so if we have a disruption of that activity with insulin, then that causes a direct effect of fat deposition. Now, if we're increasing the deposition of fat, then this then impacts specifically the cardiovascular system. You and I both, everyone on this webinar understands the implications of diabetes and cardiovascular related problems. And this all stems from one root cause. And so that's why we, not only do we believe, but we know that if we can fix the gut, then we can fix the problem. And that is what the premise of Elite Health is all based on, is fixing this basic key component of what is the microbiome. And so I was given a book a while back that's called Start With Why by Simon Sinek, and it goes and it talks about the why and the how and the what for all businesses, and the importance of identifying these three layers within a business, and essentially really as we operate and as we function as human beings, as we're connecting one with another. He made an important tie. He said that really the successful companies out there that can make a direct connection in the why area. So the why is really the inspirational component that's not really based entirely off of data, but it's an inspirational component that directly correlates with the inner part of the brain. And the inner part of the brain is what is responsible for making gut decisions. So if we've ever made a gut decision before, I'm sure all of us have done that many, many times. When we make a gut decision, we just feel like it's right. And that's because something has connected with that inner part of the brain. And so the why is a very important layer to identify in all things that we're doing. And so from a company standpoint, who is Synergy Worldwide? Yes, we do strive to help people leave a legacy, but we have to make sure that we take care of people's health. And we are doing that through Elite Health. Elite Health, again, just to put it in your mind, as Dr. Tripp defines, it is optimal metabolic function. As you can see here on the screen, Synergy promises to deliver comprehensive improvements to physical health and to help maximize your life regardless of where you stand on the spectrum of health. And how do we do this? It's really quite simple. It is through microbiome optimization. This is where we are placing our emphasis. This is where we are placing our focus, because we realize that we, as a company, as we develop products, that we can have much further, greater impact on the human organism through the microbiome than any other route. Now, does that mean that our other products are not important? No, absolutely they are. But we know that if we can impact the microbiome, then our other products that are targeted for heart health or for immune or for any other category will be far more superior. They will work more effectively because we have taken care of first the 90%, and then the 10% will be much more effective at helping. And then the what behind how we're doing it with the microbiome is this message of purify, fortify, and protect. And so we're going to get into that here in just a second as we outline this new Purify product program, this product kit that we're going to be coming out with very shortly. But this path is how we are targeting elite health. It's how we're targeting optimal metabolic function to help people unlock their potential and achieve elite health. Okay, next slide. So again, what we would like to do is introduce you to what we feel is a revolutionary product program. This is a Purify kit that is the very first stage, the very first step of the Purify, Fortify, and Protect, all resounding around elite health. Now, we've invited another special guest on this webinar with us to be able to help walk us through this. And he's a great friend of mine, a coworker that I've been able to associate with ever since I started here at Synergy back in 2010. And he's been with Synergy and Nature Sunshine and he'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but over 20 years. This individual, his name is Bryan Atwood, and Bryan Atwood is the Executive Director of Marketing for Nature Sunshine. And that directly impacts Synergy worldwide. I have the fortunate opportunity to work with Bryan on a daily basis with him and his team, as they are heavily focused on the product marketing component of helping Synergy worldwide bring these products to market and helping with with the product marketing collateral and the information that we get out to you. And so Bryan and his team, and especially Bryan, has been heavily involved with working with Dr. Tripp in working through the product formulations on each of these products that make up the Microbiome Purify kit that we will be talking to today. And so I would like to go ahead and turn the time over to Bryan for the product component. Bryan, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me, Aaron?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Great. Well, I appreciate the introduction, and I've gotten to know some of you over the years, and so grateful to have the opportunity to be reunited here for a few minutes tonight. But as Aaron was talking, I couldn't help but get excited about what's right around the corner for us here at Synergy. He's talked a lot about Purify, Fortify, and Protect, and each of those steps are important parts. They each play a key role in helping us achieve elite health. And tonight we're going to take a deeper dive and a closer look at the Purify kit and how those products provide a revolutionary boost to everyone's transformation toward elite health. Next slide. So the microbiome that Aaron spoke about just a moment ago is really the focus of the Purify kit. And so the Purify kit was formulated, you can see several columns on your screen now. It was formulated to detoxify, to cleanse, and to balance the microbiome. And so this detox happens as detoxification systems in the body are activated. Namely, as you see on the left there, an increase in liver detoxification enzymes and an increase in heavy metal detoxification. Now, the cleansing component of this comes from removing toxins and food waste products from the body, and you can see some of those listed there in the center. Toxin binding, lubrication, more rapid elimination, more complete elimination, and those are some of the ways that the products will help with cleansing. And perhaps one of the most important parts of this is the microbiome balance. After the microbiome is detoxified and cleansed, it's really important to achieve the proper balance by reducing endotoxins. And for those of you that aren't as familiar with what an endotoxin is, endotoxins are toxins that are present inside bacterial cells. And as those bacterial cells break down, it releases that toxin into its surrounding environment. And so as those cells disintegrate, the toxins become mobile. And so balancing your microbiome is a way of controlling those endotoxins. And you can see on the right-hand side there a number of reasons why that happens. Some of the things that these ingredients in the products that I'll be sharing with you will help with. And on top of all of this, another great benefit of the program you see in the bottom center there is that it helps you to feel full and eat less. And Aaron kind of alluded to an effect on blood sugar earlier that can come from having a balanced microbiome. As you eat healthy meals, generally what happens is there's a positive effect on your blood sugar. And there's a phenomenon known as the second meal effect that takes place, so that not only does it have a positive, a healthy meal doesn't only have a positive effect on the meal you've just consumed, but it also improves the body's response for the next meal that's consumed as well. Next slide. So you see on your screen a picture there of what the Microbiome Purify Kit will look like. And you can see on the screen a couple of the main objectives for this kit: to detoxify, cleanse, and balance, just as we saw in the last slide. And the products within this kit are listed there across the bottom: the Biome Shake, Biome DT, Biome Actives, and so on. You know, for many, many years, whenever there's a discussion about gut health, it was about digestion only. And it's been interesting to watch how over the years it's evolved to include more than just digestion. But it talks about, you know, immune health and so many more things now. If you look at the studies that are out there, as Aaron said, if you were to go and look at microbiome on the internet and look at some of the studies, there'd be a myriad of studies for you to take a look at. And as Aaron said, we can see that the gut and the microflora in the gut are having an impact throughout the body. I'm also watching in the industry, I see an increase in probiotic products, in cultured products, in fermented foods even that are on the market. And this all indicates that, you know, this science is leading to consumer behavior of purchasing products in this category. Next slide. So you'll see on your screen now Biome DT. And that's one of the main products in the Purify kit. You can see several of the benefits on the screen there. The formula, you know, that first bullet there says it detoxifies, cleanses, and balances. Now, it detoxifies by activating enzymes and genes to eliminate heavy metals and other toxins. It cleanses by cleaning, lubricating, and soothing the digestive lining through a combination of soluble, insoluble, and fermentable fibers. And it also supports healthy waste elimination. Another important aspect of the product is the balance it provides. That balance is mainly achieved through the inclusion of inulin, which is a soluble prebiotic fiber which feeds healthy microflora. So prebiotic can be thought of as food for a probiotic. And so as you have healthy bacteria in your gut and you feed it prebiotic fiber, it flourishes. Also, the product contains glutamine, which is an amino acid which promotes the repair of the lining of the gut, which is critical, and I would encourage you to do some internet research on that topic as well. And finally, the product is a patented formula. So really exciting. The important thing I want to emphasize is that these products are intended to be used together, and when they're combined, you achieve the benefits that were on that first slide of balancing, cleansing, and detoxifying. Next slide. And now you see on the screen the microbiome, or the Biome Shake, which we kind of refer to as the Microbiome Pure Shake. It's a unique protein supplement. It's not only a source of healthy protein like many other meal replacements or other similar shakes that are on the market, but this one was designed with the microbiome in mind, meaning it contains amino acids in the protein, and those amino acids help to repair the microbiome. It also contains inulin, which feeds that friendly bacteria that I mentioned a minute ago. It's also designed to support detoxification by helping to enhance elimination, supports the digestive and immune systems. It has ingredients like broccoli and zinc that can help to activate the detoxification processes that are already present in your body. And on top of all that, it tastes great. It's got a vanilla flavor. The protein source comes from peas. It's a vegetable protein source. It's sweetened with stevia, and it's loaded with vitamins. Next slide. Biome Actives, I guess, you know, no real discussion about gut health could take place unless it involved a discussion about probiotics. And so Biome Actives is a product that includes Bacillus coagulans. And Bacillus coagulans is a strain of healthy bacteria, a probiotic that has the added benefit of being shelf stable. Now, most probiotics, if those of you who take them or are familiar with them know, they're not even stable at room temperature. But Bacillus coagulans is a probiotic that I'm told by Dr. Tripp and some of the scientists in our development group that you could even take this stuff and bake it into a pizza, and the bacteria would survive the extreme temperatures of that pizza oven. So it's a great convenience to not have to refrigerate this. It's also loaded with prebiotic fiber, so not only a probiotic, but it contains prebiotics as well. the important thing, when good gut bacteria flourishes, they populate to balance the gut microbiome and help you to achieve better overall health. Next slide. And some of you may be familiar with Body Prime because it is sold in some of Synergy's other markets, and you may know through your associations with other people that they're selling this product in their market. So we're excited to be able to introduce this here in the U.S. as well. Body Prime is thought of as a great way, as a standalone product. It was a way to kind of prime your body and get it ready to take on a new supplement regimen. And this because of the digestive benefits that come from the magnesium, the prune powder, the apple pectin, which are some of the main ingredients in the formula. Now that it's a part of the Purify kit, you can see what an important role that would play. The magnesium, obviously we're all aware of many benefits from magnesium, but when you combine it with the apple and the prune, it really has an effect that can get you moving. And the magnesium-based formula can help to support immunity and mental clarity and induce bowel motility like you see there on the screen. Next slide. And of course, to many of you who are longtime Synergy customers, you know about Pro-Arginine Plus. And you probably know all about the great benefits, but what we want to introduce you to tonight are some of the additional benefits of Pro-Arginine Plus. One of the most important parts of Pro-Arginine, of course, is the impact that it can have on circulation. And with improved circulation, your body is aided in the transport of toxins to organs for elimination. So that's one great benefit of a product like Pro-Arginine being a part of this Purify kit. But another important thing that Dr. Tripp often talks about is that Pro-Arginine Plus can help support the urea and nitric oxide cycles, which are used in the body to help detoxify it of ammonia. And so as you include Pro-Arginine in this Purify kit, it really makes it a complete kit. It allows that purification to take effect. We've known for a long time how Pro-Arginine Plus has been a great benefit to your cardiovascular system, but now we're learning as well that it has a great impact on your gut health and your microbiome. Next slide. So, this program is something that I feel really helps to make Synergy great. And, it's differentiated because no one else has a program like this. It's not only is it based on science, but it's based on some science that's taken place in our very own laboratories. It's also relevant because it applies to all of us, of course, as Aaron mentioned, whatever our age or health situation. It's compelling because obviously it involves that new science, and it can be a key in assisting us in dealing with achieving elite health, which of course addresses that last bullet of solving a significant problem. So an incredible new product offering that we have at Synergy. I'm excited. I don't think we've had anything like this in the United States market for quite a long time, and it's a thrill to be on the cusp of having these products enter the market. And with that, I'll kick it back over to Shane. Hello, Shane. We can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me, guys? Hopefully you can hear me out there. Thank you, Bryan, for going through that. I want to do this to just technical. Bryan, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Oh, perfect. Well, I want to thank you for your training, guys. Obviously, you're wondering, hey, we've talked a lot about the microbiome. We've talked a lot about the Purify kit. Some people knew a little bit about this. I want to turn the time over, and it may be a little quirky because we're trying to connect him in, but I want to turn you over to a presidential that's actually done the Purify program and have him speak to you a little bit about what it did for him and the benefits that he saw. So, Rudy, are you there and can you hear me?
Hey, Shane, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can guys chat me up if you can hear me?
Yep, he's coming through.
All right, perfect. Rudy, go ahead.
All right, fantastic. Thanks so much, Shane. Guys, I couldn't be more excited about the Purify kit coming out. Here's what kind of happened to me. It's a 7-day total commitment to the Purify kit, and day one. And I'll say this right now: the shakes that I took were delicious, absolutely delicious. And what I was surprised about is how full I was through this process, going through and taking each and every product, it seemed like I was eating every couple hours or putting something in my system every couple hours. That was a major concern of mine when I first started. I thought, gosh, you know what, I'm going to be pretty hungry going through this process. 7 days, got to make that commitment. And I got to, after that first 48 hours, it was a little tough because you're kind of used to putting food in your system every now and then, having your 3 squares a day, right? Well, what I found after about 48 hours, it became really, really easy, and I wasn't as hungry. And I woke up on day number 3, and the DTX that's in there, in the biome, that product is an absolute hero product. That's one of those products, it kind of stands side to side with Pro Arginine Plus and what it can do. It's one of those products that when I started taking it, I had this burst of energy. And on day 3, what happened for me, the first couple of days I was just a hair sluggish because, again, I was putting a little bit less calories in my system. On day 3, I ended up waking up about 2 hours than I normally would have. So at 6 a.m., 5:30 in the morning, hit, and I was wide awake. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. My energy levels were way up. I didn't drag in the middle of the day or night at all. I was so impressed with the entire system. One of the best parts, though, every day I weighed myself. When I started this plan, I had made sure I did my measurements of my gut, my arm, my chest, all the key spots, right? And I did a video blog. I wanted to share it with you after I did this week and this commitment of being on the Purify kit. And what was cool in the first couple of days, I lost a few pounds. Day 3, waking up, I was over 5 pounds. I was down 5 pounds, and I was so stoked. And I began to see myself in the mirror, and I could actually visibly see a difference in my body composition. And that excited me, of course. So I continued on. And every time you start to see you dropping some pounds, I'll tell you what, all that does, it gets more. The thing about it is, I knew I only had 1 week's worth to try out. I wanted more back in my hand. So I continued on this. But something else happened, and I think this may happen to a few people. See, we all have something going on in our system. You can talk to friends or family. Everyone has a gut issue, a leaky gut, a fibromyalgia, a skin disorder. For me, I turned the age of 33 years old, and all of a sudden, skin disorder. I thought it was eczema. So this whole time I thought I had eczema. I ended up going to the naturopath on day number 5 of this process because I was really breaking out in my back, and I was wondering why. Well, my body was detoxing. And you heard the key word neurotoxin earlier in this call. My body was releasing neurotoxin. What I had was candida, and I didn't think, I just never thought about candida as a problem. Well, if you have leaky gut, you have gut issues, if you're taking antibiotics before the past, never replace that good bacteria back in your gut, or if you're a sugary diet, if you drink alcohol, if you have processed foods, etc., we're prone to it. It just kind of happens. So I found out that I had that. I continued on, and after day 7, it subsided. It went way back. I started obviously changing my diet as I found out what was going on, and I was extremely happy to say at the end of this process, I lost over 8.5 pounds, and I was just so stoked. So I just can't wait until we have this product come early part of March, and I'm so excited on coming May 12th we have our official launch, because I believe. Well, I hope when we're having this official launch, because I believe this is an absolute game changer. This is a game changer for each and every one of us. The way this will be set up, and the way how easy it is to share. Because I told each and every one of my friends what I was doing, and it was funny. There's two reasons usually people are asking you, hey, how's it going? What are you doing? One, they're curious, and they want to know, because you told them, hey, this is what I'm doing, and they're curious, and they're watching you change. Number 2, sometimes people want to see you fail, unfortunately, and there's another reason. But I think those are all great because they're asking. And if you follow this system to a T, you will see amazing results just like I did. Thank you. I'll hand it back to you,
Shane. All right. Thank you, Rudy. I appreciate that, man. Rudy, excellent testimonial on the Purify kit and the benefits, physical benefits you can see by taking our products. Guys, I want to kick up the energy just a little bit, and I want to thank Rudy for joining us, and Bryan Atwood and Aaron McCain, who did an excellent job training on the Purify kit, on Elite Health, and the features and benefits of all the products that we have. But if you're asking yourself, you know, we're talking about Purify and we're talking about training on the products and why, it's because the major amounts that we have, and I'm super excited to tell you that on March 2nd and 3rd, we will be selling 1,000 Purify kits. It will be a limited time offer, so only 1,000 kits will be sold starting on March 2nd. So get you and your groups prepared. The details of the program will be coming very, very shortly, so please stay tuned because we will be announcing things very, very shortly. But the price of the Purify kit will be $179 and 150 CV. What I would strongly encourage you to do is to buy 4, get 1 free. That will be $716 and 600 CV. Those will start to be available May 2nd to some people and May 3rd to others. It will be a first-come, first-served basis. We'll explain the process in an email next week. We'll explain how you get your kits, how you get in line, how you can pre-order, and how you can benefit from this incredible offer. So we are less than a month away from a pre-sales, and it will only be 2 days. We were able to grab this kit. This is actually a kit that was designed for England, the United Kingdom. We were able to steal 1,000 from them, and this will be the last time this will be available for the next couple months. You definitely want to make sure that you get your finances in order and you get ready to take advantage of the Purify pre-sale that will happen March 2nd and 3rd. The prices are the prices that you see before you, and guys, we are going to go gangbusters with this. I wanted to show you a little bit about how this will positively affect your business going forward and how you can use this to your strategic advantage to build your synergy business. Guys, things aren't happening by circumstance or by happenstance anymore. Everything is planned and calculated in 2017. If you remember, about a year ago, we talked about the power of synergy. And if you look here, what was happening is Synergy was very dedicated to all the aspects of its business, from enrollments to products to promotions to compensation to business system. These were all very important to us, and we addressed them on a singular basis. But we figured out that that was the problem, addressing each of these on a singular basis and treating them as individual steps in a process. And now we know when they're treated as a complete system, right, that everything is aligned to work together. And what I mean by that is it's like the slide in front of you. Every one of these things is a cog in turning our business forward, from products to an enrollment system to promotions to a business system to our compensation to marketing to our promotions. All of this works together to drive our company and your business forward. And I am so excited because for the first time, all of these will be turning in the right direction, and all of these will be aligned, so there'll be nothing to impede you to growing a huge, huge synergy business and truly fulfilling Dan Higginson's dream of leaving a financial legacy, leaving a legacy of health and leaving a legacy of financial independence. And I want to show you what I mean by alignment and how all these things are lining up to give you dynamic compensation. Compensation that can drive you to the next tax bracket, that can take your business to your financial independence and beyond. And it all starts with, if you can see here on the screen, that buy 4, get 1 free kit that I was telling you about. So if you buy 4, you'll receive the 5th kit for free. That's $716 and it's 600 CV. Now that 600 CV mark isn't by accident, because when you enroll someone at 600 CV, that gives you a $100 fast start. Okay, let me walk you through a little scenario. If you were to buy the buy 4 1 get 1 free Purify pack on March 2nd or 3rd, and you were to retail those at the wholesale price. Now, I'm not even talking about retail profit, which would be on top of this, but if you were to buy 4, get the 5th free, and you sold them at your cost, which is $179, because you got a kit for free, you would be making $180 in retail profit. Now, if you wanted to keep a kit for yourself and you sold the other 4, you'd be making about $140 by keeping the 5th kit for yourself. Now, if you find 2 other people to host the microbiome challenge and buy 4 get 1 free pack, 2 people that you have personally sponsored, you will earn $100 for each of those sponsorships, because at 600 CV, when you sponsor someone at 600 CV, you earn a $100 fast start. Okay, so that's $100 each for a total of $200. Now, also, when you sponsor 2 people, is it any wonder that our Go Elite qualification is a straight up 600 points now? Because when you do that, when you personally sponsor 2 people that buy this buy 4 get 1 free pack, that would give you 600 points with 2 people that you personally sponsored and qualify you for the Go Elite bonus with an additional $200. Now, if you did this and you were starting from 0, so you had no volume and you bought your pack and found 2 others to do the same, you would also be a star for the first time and earn our Title Plus bonus of $25. And you can continue to earn the Title Plus, the Go Elite every single month. Okay, this is not a one-time bonus. You continue to earn those bonuses month after month. The Title Plus will go for 3 months. Not only that, but you would earn additional money in your regular basic commissions that you would be paid out on your weak leg. What I'm trying to tell you is if you just simply can understand U plus 2, you can understand how to make $650 next month. It's going to be incredibly easy. Start the microbiome challenge. Invite you and 4 of your friends to do this challenge with you to see if they can't take that first step to elite health, feeling and looking better, and really starting the process of starting to cleanse that microbiome and prepare itself for being reset. And if you can get 5 people to join the challenge and take the first step to elite health, if you don't look and feel better in a week, we have a money-back guarantee on all of our products. Find 5 people to do this challenge and then enroll 2 other people to host a challenge. You'll earn the Go Elite bonus, you'll earn the Title Plus, and all the qualifications are the same. It's all 600 points. When people enroll, that's 600 points. They're automatically Elite Honors qualified. You get 2 people to do that, you're Go Elite qualified. It's an elevated fast start at $100 per enrollment when they enroll with a 600-point pack. And by the way, you'll also earn the Title Plus promotion if you're advanced to a new title, which if you're new, you'd automatically be a star right off the bat. It's an incredibly exciting time because we're able to align our product offering with our promotional strategy, with our marketing strategy, with our compensation plan to take advantage of that synergistic effect and allow you to earn more money than you ever have with Synergy Worldwide. Guys, I know that people are going to get hit all-time high earnings in the month of March and moving forward. And what we're going to do is every single week you'll find out more. Next week you'll find out more about our pre-sale opportunity and the opportunity you'll have to purchase your pack on March 2nd and 3rd and how logistically that will work. After we do the pre-sales, we'll have more exciting announcements. Week after week, you'll hear something new every single week. We have every week in 2017 planned out, and we are fired up, revved up, and ready for your success. Like I said, I'm so excited to see all-time high checks from our domestic distributors, and I'm ready for the United States to take its true place as a leader in this company. We are the #1 direct sales market in the world, and in Synergy, I'd love for us to show it, to show our Asian and European markets our potential and our dominance of the network marketing industry and show them what we can do. The last thing I want to do to show you the power of this, and hopefully he can jump on and give me a call here on my desk phone. Mr. Paul Blad has been he's a presidential executive. He's been instrumental in the launch of this kit in Europe and seeing the power that this kit has had to drive the business forward there overseas. And we've seen an incredible response. We pre-launched these kits in Vienna in September. We sold over 2,500 kits in less than 30 minutes. The energy was palpable there. I was there putting Purify kits in bags as fast as my arms could physically move, sweating like crazy. The energy was intense. And Paul has been over to Europe over 10 times. There he is right there. Let me bring him on. He's been over to Europe over 10 times, bringing people into the business and showing them this. So Paul, I'm going to do, and I can hear you now, Paul, on my phone, so I'm going to turn it over to you to tell people what kind of financial impact has this made for distributors in Europe. Go ahead, Paul.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Perfect. Hey, I'm only going to take a couple minutes to wrap up this call, but I have personally witnessed the power of these Purify kits in Europe. As Shane said, we sold out 2,500 of them in a half an hour. The testimonials that we have experienced in September are unlike anything that I have heard in Synergy. I had the opportunity 2 weeks ago to be with Dr. Tripp as we traveled through Europe and meet with, thousands and thousands of distributors, and the impact that these Purify kits are going to have, as you heard Aaron say, on our other products. And you hear Dr. Tripp talk about it's going to enhance the benefits of the Proarginite, the Mystica, all of our other products. It is so powerful. I'm telling you, this is going to be a game changer in the U.S. market. I've been with Synergy for 15 years. I've never been more excited about what's happening with the company. There's a direction, there's a focus, and I'm telling you right now, where else can you go? And like Shane said, go type in microbiome. Where else can you go to where, as Dr. Tripp says, everything we do is based on studies, it's based on science, and where else can you go where you actually can reset your microbiome, have an impact on your body, and a 120-day money-back guarantee? It's unheard of. As Rudy said, many family friends that we have talked to about this are so excited because of what it's going to do for this market. So my advice is these 1,000 limited time offer kits that we're going to get are going to go like hotcakes. It's going to enhance everything that we do. I love the direction the company is going right now. And so hold on to your hats, do whatever it takes, line up your teams. It's now time for us, as Shane said, to really make waves in this market. So back to you, Shane. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, thank you, Paul. I appreciate you jumping on. And like Paul said, credible opportunity right now, guys. In accounting, they have something called opportunity cost, and it's the what it costs you to not take advantage of something. And if you miss out on this opportunity, the cost will be huge. And right now, it's time to monetize our investment in the microbiome in your business. It's time to monetize this opportunity. It's time to benefit from Dr. Tripp's hard work, and our work here at corporate to bring this product to market has been all with you in mind, the distributor-centric focus, for you to be able to bless the lives of your family and loved ones and customers, and it starts on March 2nd and 3rd. So like I always say, buckle up, Buttercup, because we're in for a ride. It starts March 2nd and 3rd, and it's on like Donkey Kong. I want to thank you guys for joining the webinar tonight. If anyone has further questions or comments or anything else that you need from me, I'll end, as I always do, with my phone number and my email address. My email address is ShaneG, that's SHANEG, at synergyworldwide.com. ShaneG at synergyworldwide.com. My phone number is 801-360-5240, 801-360-5240. Shoot me a text, give me a call if you have questions, and I hope you're as excited as ever. Like Paul says, the physical evidence is there. Look what happened to Korea when we got concise in the line. Look what's happening in Europe, and now it's our turn. I want to thank you guys for joining us on the webinar tonight. Stay tuned. There'll be more announcements next week on the pre-sales, how this is going to go down, the logistics of the program, and we're excited for you. So we'll see you at the top, and we'll look forward to speaking to you again next week. Thank you very much, and be blessed. Bye-bye.